Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us at the MarketSite studio in Times Square, New York City, we have Ryan Noon. He's the CEO of Material Security, which provides tools to keep email users and information safe. Ryan, it's great to have you with us at MarketSite. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Yeah, great to be here.
You got it. Tell us the story behind Material. What was the genesis behind it? How'd you get started?
Sure. So I used to be at Dropbox, and I left in 2016 and got really obsessed with all the email hacks that happened in the 2016 election. A lot of them were on personal accounts where like the security industry basically had no answer. I had one idea for protecting, individual VIP Gmail accounts, and it kind of all spiraled from there. So
what's different from other email security vendors and solutions?
Sure, it gets nerdy real fast, but at a really high level, old school, most security is all about kind of creating boundaries and kind of like think of like a TSA checkpoint in the airport where it's like, well, if I can see the email first and see if it's bad, and I'll let it through, or I'll kind of take that battery out of your luggage as you go through the checkpoint kind of thing. And we're like, that actually doesn't really help in practice, because people will try and get at your email in a million different ways, right? There's all these large email hacks that keep happening where email is what people want. It's not just how they're trying to get you.
Right.
So, if you leave your laptop open at the wrong Starbucks, someone will steal your email and wreck your company, right? And like so many variants of that we've seen in the last couple of years. Just email is something people want to steal, not just a way for me to send you viruses as attachments and stuff like that. And so kind of flipping the script a little bit from, how do I set up a wall around this stuff to, what happens if somebody actually gets inside, has really been eye-opening for a lot of folks, and it's propelled us as a business for years now.
So it sounds like if your email were to get hacked or stolen, these are the solutions that Material provides. So what are you doing to help with these problems?
Right. So there's a couple like related problems for us, but it's all kind of at a really high level, like, what if that email gets through the thing that's trying to protect you, or what if somebody breaks in? One of the things we're most well known for is, you've got all this email sitting in your email account going back years in many cases. A lot of it is stuff you really wouldn't want to lose. So one of the really cool parts of our technology is, when there's some old email sitting there that you're never going to delete, or maybe it's from 9 months ago and the security department hasn't purged it yet, we can actually go and protect it and redact it so that even if somebody compromises that mailbox and downloads it all, or even if the underlying Microsoft or Google infrastructure gets hacked, they can't steal that information. But if you need it, you can press a button and look at your phone or press a button, something that the attacker can't do. And that means you can have that data, and we'll pop it right back. It sounds complicated, but works really well.
I was going to say that does sound a bit complicated. So what types of companies and people are using your solutions? Yeah,
we really up and down the stack, frankly. We sell to some of the largest, most security-conscious organizations in the entire world. We sell to a lot of folks that are fast-growing companies. It's kind of strange. Like everybody still uses this thing. We all talk about Slack and Teams and video conferencing, but it's not going anywhere. We even protect VIPs on their personal accounts, right? It's just this thing's been around for 40 years. It can still ruin a company or mess up a whole country, and so we'll work with anybody that needs to be protected.
It kind of sounds very intuitive as you explain it, despite it being a little bit nerdy, but it does seem very intuitive. And you had mentioned Microsoft and Google before. Why don't they just do it on their servers, I guess?
The thing is, these platforms are so big and they have so many people to serve. I think Gmail has over a billion users, right? And not everybody is the same. In a lot of cases, you have to, to kind of get creative and protect people, you have to use multiple different services simultaneously. And so these companies are so big, but they don't always interoperate with each other. They don't always interoperate with everything that a company has. So in a lot of cases, it's just they're so large, and there's so many obvious things that they have to do to even stay relevant. And so for us, we exist to innovate, right? The large companies are very good at setting a minimum bar for everybody, and they've done a lot to protect billions of people. But you put all your eggs in a couple baskets, and it can slow down certain kinds of innovation.
Yeah, well, it does make sense. If you're a smaller company, you do have the ability to bring technology with speed. They're the ones that are able to scale it. So that makes total sense. And you've just announced your Series C back in May, bringing you to over $1 billion valuation. What's next in terms of plans for your team, for the product?
Yeah, we have a lot that we've set out to do as a company. And there's a lot of things that are adjacent and in the Google and Microsoft ecosystem that need to be protected. And so we're expanding internationally, hiring lots of people, all that stuff, all the things you do when you have ample capital. And we're very grateful to our investors for providing that. But there's a lot more innovation innovation that needs to happen here. Computers are doing more for us every year than they did the previous year, and it takes, in many cases, small companies to push the things forward. And so that's what we exist to do, and I'm glad that, we'll be around for a long time now.
Oh, it's great to hear, Ryan. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks, and
Thank you
thanks
so
for
much.
joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.